Right. Last week we have discussed about lists, or we call arrays, right? That is under our third lesson, programming. Now we have discussed the first thing, that is repetition. Actually, before that, we just revised the concepts. So that is sequence and selection that we have already learned in grade 8. So sequence is a method where the instructions are executed one after another in sequential order or in a particular given order. There are no choices. You don't want to branch. You don't want to look at alternatives. There is a solid defined path and you can follow it, execute the steps step by step. That is sequence. That is the first control structure that we have learned. The second control structure is selection. I gave the example, if you are at a junction, you have to decide whether to turn right or left. So let's say that is a two-way road and you have left side and right side, two sides, and you are in the center. You have two alternatives then. Either you can turn left or you can turn right. Simultaneously or at the same time, you cannot turn left and right both. Instead of that, you have to take a decision either to turn left or to turn right, one side at a one time. So that is selection example. In coding or in computing, you have menus. It clearly shows you the selection. For an example, while selecting the file menu, you cannot select edit menu. While selecting edit menu, you can't select file menu. One at a time. If you want file menu, you have to forget about the edit menu. If you want edit menu, forget about the file menu. If you want view menu, forget about other two menus. So this is selection. You have only one option available based on the condition, that is selection. The third that we have learned is repetition. That is the main thing that we have learned in this chapter, where the same instruction or same set of instructions executed again and again until a certain condition or endlessly or for given number of steps. So repetition can be in three ways. So one is defined number of steps. You can say 10 times repeat or 5 times repeat. That is defined number of steps. The second is endlessly until you finish it, until the user finishes it. So that is endlessly you repeat. That is basically called game loop, because games are terminated or preempted or exited by user at some time. Sometimes user will play it forever for long time, and when the game over, it will exit. So that is another. There is another one. The next type is repetition with a condition. Until you meet certain condition, you repeat. So that is the third type of repetition. Anyway, repetition is what we have to execute the same instruction again and again. That is repetition. So here, so we learn about the nested if inside if. So where we have multiple conditions. I think we discussed about the grading example. We have entered marks for 3 subjects, graded it, got the average. According to average, if average was greater than 75, we gave A, and average was greater than or equal to 60, then B. Likewise, we applied grade criteria for different mark levels that we have done as a nested if else. If inside. And the control structure repetition. So simple repetition is basically, so here you can see in this example. So when water flow into the tank, and if tank is full, you have to stop. Otherwise, you have to repeat. That is, repeat until a certain condition. Repeat until the tank is full. So this is a practical example in coding. Student name, Colin, and if student is present, mark 1 as present and mark 0 for absent. So this is actually marking the attendance. until all the numbers are called. So there's a condition. This is the ending condition. Until all the numbers, all the names are called, you have to mark the attendance. Actually, this has two control structures if you carefully analyze. That is repetition. Repetition is a loop. So you can see, please follow these lines and you can find the loop. You can see these lines coming down and then going here and going here and going up and coming back, forming a loop. This is a repetition. So this is one repetition. Another repetition, let me show. It's coming here and then go this side, come back, come here, going down, and then here, 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 and here. This is another cycle. This is also a repetition. But why there are two repetition cycles? Because there is a selection here. This path is one selection and this path is another alternative selection. But please note that these are not forming loops. If it is forming loops, you need a way to go up. But here you have only way to go down, no way to go up. You can't go up using this. And here also, when you go to the north side, when you select north side, it's only flowing here, no way to go up. So this is selection. So this part. So please tell me if you cannot understand. This part is selection. But if you take as overall, this part shows. So this part shows repetition. That repetition can be used in this part or alternative part. This is the alternative repetition part. The reason is there is another control structure. That second control structure is the selection here. So likewise, you can merge the control structures. Sequence, selection, things can be merged. Okay, here repetition type, repeat for given number of times, repeat until a certain condition, or repeat endlessly. Right? So these are the things. Then actually we learn about different repetition examples, and this actually we have to study. I'll do that today. We have to study that today. And not only that, we have discussed this one last day. I have given you examples as well. And then the arrays also we discussed. Arrays are unlike these variables that you defined earlier. Variable can hold a single value at a given time. Only one value at a given time. It can hold only one value at a given time. That is a general variable. But arrays or lists can hold multiple values in adjacent memory cells. So just think this as a set of memory cells. I'm highlighting. Just think this as a set of memory cells. These are adjacent to one another. Adjacent means nearby. It's like nearby houses, neighbors. It's neighboring memory cells. Actually, in arrays or lists, it is possible to store data in neighboring or nearby memory cells continuously just using one name. That is the advantage. The array name is marks, and you have multiple marks stored in this. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 marks stored in this array. Those are also in adjacent memory cells. But in variables, if you store, maybe you have to define 5 variables. Let's say this is variable X, this is variable Y, and this is variable Z, and this is variable P, and this is variable Q. Likewise, you can still define this using multiple variables, but these are isolated, not linked, not adjacent. So then you need 5 variables to store. Right? Those are not even adjacent. Okay, now we have clear idea about arrays. Actually, I have given you homework. Can you tell me how many of you have completed the homework? So don't worry, don't leave the meeting. I'll only ask you to show the things that you have, if you have done. If you have not done, I'll explain, don't worry. Anyone done this? Lakshya? Gayatri, have you done the homework? Shami?
I have done average.
Average. Okay, I said to find the maximum, minimum, total, right? So anyone completed everything? Is there anyone who have completed everything? Oh, unfortunately, not in single medium class. There was one student who has completed. I think the English medium class is a little better than the Sinhala medium class. I thought like that because there are students who have learned programming even. Did you? Provino, Tihan? No. Oh my God. You forgot it, I think. So there now it's when you are drawing, you forgot the day-to-day activities, right? That happens. I can't help that. You have to keep the focus. Anyone who wish to share, I can give the string. Okay, Nadun, I can see there's WhatsApp, but can you share the screen and show us? Because others are also watching, that's why. So if you can, yeah, I can allow you. You're from phone, right? Okay. All right. Then no choice, I'll explain. Gayatri, you can show your one. So after that, I'll explain. I've given the share and facility, so you can just share the screen. I'll explain after that. Okay, you have done, this is actually how you have added 10 marks and you found the total and the average using the counter, right? Okay, good. Just play it, okay. Play it once. Okay, it's making an empty list and then you have to keep adding these numbers or the marks to the list. After adding 10 numbers, it will be listed, it will be added to the array or the list here. Okay, good. After that, it's calculating the total and the average, right? Okay. Okay, thank you. Right, I think up to that level, everyone can do. Or you should have tried at least that level, otherwise, like, okay, I'll show you the steps now for those who have done or not done, but don't expect the answers from me. You have to develop yourself. So please work on this. So it is just focusing and doing things. On behalf of you, you have to work. You can give number of excuses. That is not the final answer anyway. You can say I didn't have power. You can say I didn't have laptop. And you can say I forgot. So some of you can say I couldn't watch the video because my JITS account was not working. Some say some can say I don't have GICTS account. I asked Ms. Lakmani, but still not given. So those are excuses. You can tell any number of excuses, but if you can do that without all these excuses, you're great. So try to be such student. Okay, let's start entering the number. When flag is clicked, I need to, okay, when flag is clicked, I need to enter 10 marks. So I'm going to go to the variables under that here, make a list. The list name is marks. Okay, I have created the list and list name is mark. Initially it's empty. And I also need to delete all the marks if anything available at the initial stage. Then 10 marks needed. So I can go to the control and get repeat 10 times. That is the easiest to repeat 10 times. From sensing, I can ask enter marks. So that will happen for 10 times. And the answer given, I'm going to assign that to the list item. To do that, I can insert add thing to marks. That is easiest thing. Add answer to the marks and it will add 10 numbers, right? So when I click the flag, it will ask a question in the marks. So I'm entering again, entering. Oh, nothing is entered. Likewise, again, enter the marks, and when length is 10, it will be turned off, and you can see there are 10 marks in this. So how do I calculate the total? How can I add all 10 numbers? So let's add another thing. So you can do this with me, Pute. Please do this with me. So this is how you add 10 marks. Let's calculate the total. To do that, I'm going to define a variable that is total, and I'm going to define another variable counter. Actually, counter is going to count this. Counter is the controlling variable. So what I'm going to do, right? I'll create another event when a key is pressed. I need to say the total is 0. Total is 0. And now I need to repeat 10 times because I need to count it. Repeat 10 times. So what I'm going to do is 10 times. I'm going to the counter. So let's set the counter to 1. Right. So the counter, why I need a counter? I'm going to maintain this sequence. Can you see this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This item number. Item has a number. Each item has a number. So using the counter variable, I'm going to maintain that number sequence 1 to 10, right? So what I'm going to do after each round, in each round, I'm going to insert the counter, right? Change counter by 1. Each round, I'm going to do that. Change counter by 1. So when I press the A key, you can see counter is changing from 1 to 11. So why? In each round, it will be implemented. Or I can start from 0, and when I press the A key, the counter will be, sorry, when I press A key, let me enter some numbers. So let me press A key, and you can see counter is 10. Each time it's counting from, set counter to 0, and each time it's counting from 0 to 1 by 1 by 1. So after that, so what I need to do is I need to add okay, item 1. So actually I need to get item 1, item 2, item 3, item 4, item 5, item 6, all the items. So I can say item counter because counter is going from 1 to 10. So I can say item 1, item 2, item 3. Okay. That item, I can add that to the total. Okay, I am going to add that to the current total and store in the total. Set the total to the total plus this number. So that is the easiest way of adding this. Okay, here when I press A key, you can see total is 34, count is 10. So let's add 2 plus 3 is 5, 5 plus 4 is 9, 9 plus 4 is 13, plus 4 is 17, plus 2 is 19, plus 3 is 22, plus 4 is 26, plus 5 is 31, plus 3 is 34. You can see that. So all the 10 numbers are added. Right, there is addition. So now I think the time to the copywriters who would like to copy can copy it now. I'll give you 2 minutes. Then I'll explain other things. Today I have to do more work, even the modular programming. So be hurry, quickly copy this, right? Quickly copy this. Right, next is adding these numbers is done. Next is finding the, I'm taking a copy. So finding the maximum and minimum, that is easy. So, okay, I'll ask small question to make it easy. I'll ask very small question from you. Can you tell me, so if you are the only student in your classroom and your teacher is asking you to find who's the tallest? Who is the tallest? Your teacher is asking, get this idea clearly. You are the only student in the class. Teacher is asking, tell me the tallest student. So what's your answer?
I am the tallest student.
Yeah, you are the tallest. Yes, because you have only one student in the class. So you can simply tell you are the tallest. So that is easy. So what about the shortest?
I am also the shortest.
Right. Okay. Then next thing is, so when you are asked to find the shortest, and if you are the only one student in the class, you are the shortest. So that is simple theory, Okay, when the second person come, what you do? When the second person come, what you do? Okay, now the first person, you are the shortest and you are the tallest. Then another guy, another girl, or someone else will come to the class and join. Now what? Now you have to compare whether the particular person is taller than you or whether the particular person is shorter than you. If he is taller than you, you have to assign him as the tallest. So in the other hand, if you're selecting the shortest person, and if he is the shorter person, he's shorter than you, then the shortest person will be the newcomer. Right? I think you understand that theory, right? Isn't that so? So what do you think? You understood or not? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
It's a very simple theory, right? Okay, මෙහෙමයි. ඔයා විතරක් පන්ති ඉන්නකොට you are the tallest and you are the shortest now. Okay, another person come. Now you are, this is the new person. And now your teacher asking, who is the tallest? Now you have, the earlier tallest was you. Now you have to compare the newcomer. A newcomer is taller than you. Then you have to tell, this is the tallest. The newcomer is the tallest. Another person comes. You again compare. No need, because he is short. You can keep the current tallest person. Another person comes. You have to compare with the current tallest person. He's taller than that person even. So he's the tallest now. You always check that with the current tallest person. So similar to that. So let's say you are the one in the class, you are the shortest. Another one came, still you are the shortest. Another one came, still you are the shortest. Another one came, now you compare with that. Now he is the shortest. Another one, you compare with the current short person. Still, he is the shortest. Another one, still he is the shortest. Another one, now he is the shortest. Likewise, you have to compare with the new element. This is what I'm going to do. So that is what called an algorithm. Okay, so I'm checking. First of all, I'm having a variable that is max. Let's say max. So currently, in the first instance, I can tell the max is item. The max is, I can tell max is item 1. So blindly you can tell that the current max is item 1. That you can tell. Then you can maintain a counter. So let's start from counter number 2 because 1 is already gone now. Let's start from 2. Right? Let's start from 2 and repeat 9 more times. Right? Change the counter by 1. And what you are going to check now? You are going to check now using this if else. You can check if. So you are looking for the tallest now. You are looking for the max now. So then you can say if the item, if item not 1 item, now we have to tell the counter. It is item 2 second time. Item 2 of marks greater than the current maximum. Then you have to tell if item 2 of the is greater than the current maximum, then you have to tell the current maximum is, then the maximum is, then the max is, then the max is item, the same item, right? You can say same item, item counter. That is the same item. This you need to do 9 more times. Why? Counter is start here. Count is 2. If item 2 greater than max, 2 is the maximum. Repeat again. If item 3 is greater than the max, is the maximum. Repeat again. Likewise, you do 9 more times. When I press the B key, I should be able to get the maximum. When I press it, you can see the maximum is 5. Is it correct? Yeah, it's 5. Maximum is 5. So similarly, let's copy and paste. Similarly, you can assign the minimum. So let's assign to the character number, character C. Now I need another variable that is minimum. And let's set the minimum this time to the first item, counter to 2. This time I'm comparing the other way. Other way means I have to check whether it's less than item counter is less than the minimum marks. And that is the minimum. Okay, that's it. So let's press C and C will give you the, so what has happened? So C should give you the minimum is item 1 and item 1 is 2. And then you compare, keep comparing, set minimum item count of marks. Erasing that. If minimum is even less than this, set minimum to this. Okay, counter is 2. So let's start. I'm going to enter some marks. Okay, some larger values to do that. Oh, sorry. Okay. Press A key, give the total. Press B key will give the maximum. Press C key. Why it disappears? Why it disappears? Set min to the item counter of marks. That is correct. Why it disappears? Set minimum to the item. Okay. Set counter to 2. Okay. Repeat 9 times and repeat 9 times. Okay, then okay, let's do like this. Let's repeat 10 times. And let's start from the character number 1, right? That can also be done. Let's press. Okay, these are the numbers. I have entered them, and now I need to find the mark. A is total, B is, C is, oh, still disappears. So why is that? When I press C key, it disappears. I wonder why. Okay, let's do that. Let's put the if statement first and then the change counter by 1 last. Let's do like that and repeat. See? Right, okay. Sorry, that is just order issue. Because this outside if I have to mention this increment character. So this can be done for the first one also. Right? No harm. So the max also you can do, but max is appearing anyway. So max is reappearing and C. Okay, now all are appearing. C is the minimum. I guess that is the minimum. Okay. So let's enter some other marks. Okay, I'm checking for the total, press A. Okay. Check in for the B, that is maximum is 85, correct? Check in for the C is minimum is 1. Okay, done. Right, Nadun, it's okay. So I think others can copy from this. Quickly do this. Quickly copy from this. I'll give you 2 minutes. Please do it quickly. Right. The next important thing is that we need to learn about how to draw this actually. So we skip this purposely, and I'll do that now and complete it. So I'll give you some guidance and you have to follow. So please try to do this. And I'm taking a new one. And so what I'm going to do now is just start from the center. So I'll erase this one. I'll take pencil, which is more meaningful for drawing. So then reduce the size to 30. or reduce the size to 15 even, so very small one. Then from the event, I need to position that when flag click, I need to position that to the 0, 0 position, which is center of the screen. 0, 0 position, which is center of the screen. I just need to position that to 0, 0 point. And then after that, I need to add the pen library for drawing purpose. That is done by adding the pen extension. And I need to first erase everything and then pen down. Erase everything, pen down, and then I have to draw this multiple times. Draw this multiple times. Let's say I will need to draw this 10 times. So after pen down, I need to draw this 10 times. What I need to draw? Actually, erase all should come before everything. Right? Erase all 10 times, pen down, and this one also I can include this too. Go to the 0, 0 position, pen down and move to 10. Move to 100 steps, right? Let's move 100 steps. So this will draw one line from center. So since I repeat this 10 times, I can change the angle. So let's change the angle to 36 degrees. 36 into 10 is 360. So it will cover entire circle. You can see. Okay. So this is my tip. Can you do this remaining? Can you try to do the, can you try to complete that? You can do this. Just try. Yes, yes. Can you share the screen? Then I can see whether you have done or not. Yes, anyone. So I think I have given the permissions. Yes. So no one to share. Right. Okay, good. So see, he's new to the class, but like he's trying. So that is good. So others must follow. Others must do. I think others can do the remaining work even, right? In even drawing the entire color cycle is possible. Okay, who else wish to share? Lakshya, Gaurika, or anyone? Shamin. Okay, good. Yeah, Shamin has like added colors to that. Okay, great. So Shamin, I need the entire color wheel. So if possible, just add few more steps.
So I did it.
Okay, share it, Puti. Just share it. This is my subject. He has added more steps, 100 steps, and so 35.5 degrees. Why is that? So just 100 steps you can just mention. So altogether in the circle there are 360. No, in a circle 360 degrees are there. 360 divided by. So just divide 360 by divide 360 by 100. Then you will get 3.6. That is the exact figure. Then play it and you will get the entire cycle. Okay, that is clear, right? That's true. So you should have calculations in your mind. Good.
Thank you, sir.
So that is how you calculate. Anyway, so you can do the book one. So if you repeat this 360 times by 1 degree at a time, that will draw entire cycle. Perfectly the entire cycle. Because it's 1 degree at a time, but 360 cycles. So that will cover the entire circle like this. So initial one, you can start, if you want, you can just point in 90 degrees. That depends, right? Point in 90 that is better, because then it will start from this and then come to then complete the circle. But if you want to move as a clockwise movement, so the recommendation is you can move the right side 1 degree at a time. So just move right side 1 degree at a time. So clockwise movement means you have to start from the top corner. No? That means the pointing direction should be 0. 0 to this. Okay, now you can see it's like a clock. It's drawing like a clock. Because pointing direction 0. After erasing all, pointing direction 0 and to go up to 0. It's like a clock. Okay, so that's it. And so how to change the color? To do that, you can go to the pen and you can change the color. Change here. Change pen color. So each time you draw, you can change pen color by 1. So then let's see what will happen, and you can see different colors this time. But the same color will get repeated. So you have to stop that 4 times, right? Same color got repeated 4 times, yellow 4 times, orange 4 times. So you have to stop. To do that, I will recommend to put 0.25 to stop the repeating. Let's try this now. 0.25 change, that is a very minor change of color, and you can see it's repeating now and come to the beginning, and no repeats, but it's not merging this properly. So let's put 0.228. Starting from orange color, let's let it repeat. Okay, draw in and yes, ending from the orange. Now it has the proper gradient. All the colors will be there in the color wheel. If you need more colors, you can just increase, so like more width, you can just increase the number of steps that you move, 130. Okay, that will be a bigger wheel. Okay, it's up to you. You can do different artistic or different, so what you call different algorithmic changes. That is totally up to you. You can decide what to do. Maybe you can make it long and shorter, long and shorter, long and shorter. So let's do something like this. Let's say, let's put if inside this. So those things are totally up to you, right? So let's say if okay, the direction, can we measure the direction? If okay, let's say if let's check this x position. If x position, I'm checking this whether this is less than some value, less than, let's say less than 0, or less than some x is changing here. X position is less than 0. Then if it is x is minus, then I'm just moving. Okay, I need if else both, right? If else both. So I'm just putting this else here and just duplicate it and put to the if also. Now I'm going to change this. Just doing some changes will give you some interesting outputs. So what I'm going to check? I'm going to check whether x position, this x position is less than 0. If so, I'm doing something, or if let's say if so, I'm just 100 steps. Now let's see, these changes will do some interesting. Okay, when x is less than 100, or is it changing? No changes. That means x always like starting from this x 0, so it's not changing, so it's not starting from 0th position. So let's use something else. I'm using a variable. Make a variable, this time count or c. I'm starting with the z equal 1. C equal 1, I'm just starting c equal 1. And I'm checking whether, and I'm incrementing c. Change c by 1 always. In each round, I'm incrementing c. So then I'm checking this c is, whether c is, let's use operation. Okay, So mod operation. මම බෙදලා බලනවා දෙකෙන් බෙදිලා එකක් ඉතුරු වෙනවාද කියලා. I'm going to divide by 2. So these are some other things that you can try. I'm going to divide this C by 2. C mod 2, and if it is less than 1, that means even. C mod 2, C කියන්නේ this counter is totally incrementing 1 by 1 360 times, but when it is divided by 2 දෙකෙන් බෙදුනම ඉතිරි වෙන්නේ බිඳුවක් නම් ඉරට්ටේ for evens. If it is less than 1 means it is even. For even degrees, it will be shorter. For odd degrees it will be longer. So let me show. Now you can see short and longer, odd even, odd even. That will draw something like this. This is the odd evenness, odd degrees and even degrees. You can make it what you want. That is totally depending on your programming skills. Make up karanna ona naha, but try it. Try different things. Let's say let's divide by 3 and see. When you divide by 3, and so when you apply like this, this is 3 in 1. You can see 2, and the third one is third one has space, different shape. Okay, you can make it like 7 even. Then 7 and space. Okay, it depends on you. It depends on how you think, and you can create nice illustrations, graphics, etc. using different algorithms. And this is another thing. Let me show another thing that I have created. Okay, let me open the note. No need to like stick to my example. You just implement your own version, right? That's the one that I need. If you can implement your own version, it's great. This is what I have come up with. So this is another one. Now you have learned this. Now it's totally up to you to experiment and get a new innovative output. Okay, this is another innovative output I got. You can see this is another innovative output. I have just added another repetition inside this repetition. It has given me this innovative output. So you can change, right? You can change. Okay, let's make it like 3. Now this will be different. 4 and 3. So this mathematics and graphics will give you nice illustrations. To do that, you have to give a try. That is totally up to you. Okay, the final thing that I would like to explain is this. According to the chapter, so you have one last thing, that is modularizing a problem. Actually, we have done this, but we have not discussed the theory. Why you need to divide or modularize problem into small pieces? Then it will be easy to solve these things. When you divide this into the manageable pieces, it's very easy to solve this. So for an example, think about the given example. Input, so you are given a task to find the average of 10 numbers. What first you do, enter the 10 numbers without finding the total average anything. First you have done entering 10 numbers. That is the simplest step, entering 10 numbers, getting the answer. Then adding them. After entering 10 numbers, you can add them. That is the next step. After adding, finding the average, just divide by 10 and find the average. That is third step. And display the average. That is the final step. Actually, you have 4 steps. Adding 10, like entering 10 numbers. After entering 10 numbers, then just adding them, dividing them, and output. So this is called modularization. To solve a complex problem, this is not complex actually, but to solve a complex problem, you can further divide it into a manageable, understandable, small problems. Then it will be easier to solve that. As a summary, we learn about 3 types of repetitions, and we learn about the list or arrays, and we have done small development also. Next day, I'll be doing the workbook, plus I'll be helping you developing. Yes, it is called decomposition, correct. So the next day, I'll be teaching you the workbook, as well as I'll be teaching you some, I'll be teaching you small game, right? I'll do both next day. Then let's see you all next week. Good night.
Good night, sir. Thank you, sir.
Right?
Good night, sir.